What's up everyone, Art at Patience Metal Fab, and I came into the shop this morning to discover a bunch of stuff on our fixture table. I don't know exactly what these things are, but I know they have to do with our K5 Blazer project. So what I want to do is get Andrew and Gary over here to give us an explanation of what they're working on and what this is going to lead to. Gary, last week we made a ton of progress on the K5 project, got the prototype frame done, took it over to K5, they got suspension on it, and I hear the body is now dropped on it. I wasn't there to see that. But since that's done, I'm trying to figure out what this stuff is. I assume it's for chassis number 2. Are these reinforcement pieces or something?
This is moving into the fixture side of it. The big thing when you're in production, obviously, to be efficient and quick and quality is to have a fixture set up. So as you saw in the last one, we kind of had a temporary fixture set up to hold things in place. This is now moving into production. We've proved out the front. We got some stuff we got to do in the rear of the chassis still. For number 2, but this is what we need to be able to do the front of it. We'll cut a new set of rails, we'll get all the front end stuff set in, and pretty much back to about the 3rd set of body mounts, or kind of behind that front seat area, we'll be completely done, fixtured, and kind of ready for a production level moving forward after today.
So from prototype to production in a couple weeks time, I'd say that's pretty good. I mentioned in the last video, if you guys didn't see, I'll put a link up here, that you made really quick work of that chassis. When you have 3 or 4 guys all on it, welding at the same time, grinding, doing that, it only took a few days to get there. So I guess we're ready for production, or will be soon.
Yeah, we're kind of operating on an impossible timeline right now with Dino's coming up here. We need chassis ready so that K5 can go down and represent this product well.
Which means we need to stop talking and Andrew needs to start working on this. Gary, as the guy filming this whole K5 project, I can tell you I'm getting really confused at where we're at, what chassis we're on, what bodies and engines and drivetrains are coming here. What is this now?
Because it keeps changing day to day. This is the first gen that chassis is going to be retrofit, have a variant for, with some change in body mounts. And that's basically going to come down to us getting this body off of here this week. Chassis number 3 we're going to put together without body mounts on it to start, and we're going to see how that chassis fits underneath this. We're also going to scan the floor of this so that we can lay it into CAD and look that way at what it's going to take to put this truck on that chassis. Ideally, we'll be able to have one chassis with some slight variance in the body mounts. Will work for both vehicles.
So just off the top of your head, what do you think the major differences between the first gen and the subsequent generations are?
From some initial measurements that we took, it looks like the width of the body mounts are going to change a little bit. The step up in the floor and the back's going to change a little, which that one might bite us because we really tucked our chassis up tight into the back. But we can't tell any of that stuff till we get this thing on.
Right, so right now I'm gonna go back to the shop after we offload this. We're gonna finish up chassis number 2, start on chassis number 3 in the next couple of days. That's gonna get this first gen body onto it. And then we're just gonna adapt and design what we need. And like Gary said, it's a bit of a mess that changes day to day, but we are moving through it really quick with really good results. So all in all, we are enthusiastic about everything that's happening here. Sean got the first gen offloaded. It is looking really good out in the sun. This teal color is beautiful, especially once it gets a nice wash, and of course a new PMF chassis underneath. Right now he's making some measurements for the wheelbase of this car, since like Gary said, we're gonna have to make some adjustments on that number 3 frame that we're gonna create for this. Now number 2 is 99% done. Sean's gonna stick around until we finish it up. We're gonna start work on this car's chassis probably tomorrow. In the next couple of days we will be able to put the body on top of it. So we're moving really quickly on these things. We're at a point where every single one that we make has less and less issues, and once we make chassis number 4 and 5, we should reach basically a production stage where they're issue free and we can just crank out as many of them as get ordered. So it's a really exciting time, and I think this is probably a good way to wrap up this episode. If you guys want to see the body come off that first gen and then the development of the 3rd chassis, you got to like this video, subscribe to our page, stick around for the next one.